Hi, Mary. Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Faye.
Happy Friday. Welcome to Clown World Cousins. Just for anyone that's stumbling onto this, what is this? What's going on here? We're just two cousins that have been having conversations and been trying to figure things out for a very long time. And sometimes we don't even know where the conversation will take us. But I always have fun talking to Mary. The good news about this show is take a look and now you can go do something and just listen, because that we totally want this to be a show where you can listen. If there's something you need to see, then it won't be very long. I don't know. I kind of wish sometimes, especially when I'm stumbling on a new YouTube channel, that they would give a little disclaimer like this, like
Yeah,
that. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, I like this. I like this. Maybe I'll just kind of like lay down in my cot and get some sun. And then all of a sudden they start playing like really loud noise.
yeah.
You gotta warn people about that. So,
We'll try to be very quiet and so you can turn it on when you're going to sleep. That's when I listen to most of my stuff is when I'm lying in bed.
Mary just nailed it. This is the perfect stream for the mom who's looking to shut her eyes for a while. We don't swear a lot. If we keep it clean as much as we can, and we're not going to play any music that you haven't chosen to listen to. Guys, it's the perfect nap time stream, I think.
So, what's on your mind, Faye? Has it been a long week or a short week? I haven't even made up my mind. I can't believe it's Friday again, but at the same time, it seemed like a really long week.
I had a good week. Today was kind of exhausting. Just waking up after beautiful weather, and then today was downpouring, and I work with animals, and I've kind of been off since then. My hair is still wet from rain because I washed it yesterday. How are you doing, Mary? Give us the update. How Mary's son's off to college. How we feeling?
Oh, I'm heartbroken still. I'm heartbroken. It doesn't help that when I go on the website for the college, there's pictures of him and his cousin like living their best life. When I'm sitting here at home with a broken heart, but it's good. I'll see him on God willing on Wednesday, and I mean, yeah, you got to let go at some time, and it just it's hard. It's hard. Well,
Mm-hmm.
also because I have zero contact with him. So he has no email, no phone, like nothing. He's also, I was thinking about it for this generation, not having any electronics. I bet a lot of the kids are, I don't know, are they going through withdrawal? I can't wait to talk to my son about like how it was because they're going through a media fast right now. They're away from their families, they're at
Wow.
what's considered like a mini boot camp, which is insulting to people that have actually been to boot camp. But it's like they wake up at 5, they have to do like PT, they're you know doing a lot of crazy crap. So yeah, so it's been a really short week, but a really long week. Lying awake in bed at night, being like, I hope my baby's okay. My almost 19-year-old baby.
They'll always be our babies. It's ridiculous.
Oh, and one more thing. Like, I was kind of chugging along and doing okay, and we'll get into this later, but then I found out that there's a good chance that the mandates are going to be coming back. And right after that, my anxiety for the next, 2 or 3 days, way up here. Like, I can't bear it, I cannot bear it again. So, God
So any
willing.
truther channel that started talking about mandates coming back, I immediately shut it off. Um, I can't do it. I forwarded you that algorithm posted a really quick video, and it was about Snow White. But what he pointed out, and he was 100% right, was that as this repulsive little creature who's playing Snow White was like blah blah blah. I
Yeah.
hate Snow White. I
Yeah.
hate white people. In the background, of this like entertainment show was just like random masked people. It's the presentation of the masks. And that day, I think I set it to Tuesday maybe. I started buying into the fear really bad because I'm with you. How what we were put through was completely unnatural, inhuman. It was complete abuse. We're still being abused in different ways. This is just an abusive world. I've decided, mostly up here. So it's really freaking out to the point that I mentioned killing myself to Joe. I said I can't live like this. If they do this to people again, I refuse. I refuse to live like this. And Joe like had to calm me down, and he's like, we're not going to worry about it. One time I told you that what the mask is to me, even when I see someone out and about, when mandates aren't being rumored about, it's like an abusive stepfather that hangs the whip above the fireplace that
Yes,
he
I
uses
remember,
on
I
you.
remember you saying that before. Yeah.
For the rest of my life, that's what the mask will be. I had to withdraw my children. I mean, I'm not going to comply. We already know that I'm not going to comply. The worst thing I did was wear a gaiter to go to Florida. I can't forgive myself for it. And if that means that I'm sitting at home with my children again, that's what I'll be doing. But um, I can't worry about it, Mary. Thoughts? Go ahead. I can't worry
It
about it.
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about what they did to the seniors, like high school seniors, that year. They didn't have prom, they didn't have graduation, everything was virtually, and I was thinking, wait, those people are now college seniors, because March is going to be 4 years. So there are they gonna what are they gonna be robbed of this time? If anybody goes along with it, and even if they come back, we'll see. God willing, they don't. But if it, excuse me, if it did, it might be good for me, because then my son would come home and he could stay at home with mom. But because yeah, we're not playing that game either. So we'll see. God willing, it doesn't happen and everybody's wrong. But a lot of colleges are already um, bringing back the masks and all that kind of crap. So Hollywood, Hollywood is another one that's
What
bringing.
colleges?
They're not big. I forget the one. It's a two-name college, something Brown. Um, there's another one. I know Hollywood is doing it again, with like, you have to wear it unless you're in your office with the door closed type crap. So I don't know. I can't bear it. I literally.
I can't bear it either.
It's in Georgia.
I'll never forget. This still haunts me to this day. I remember during it at whatever point it was. It was it was like on a Time magazine or something. I was in a Whole Foods. It was during it, and the title of the front page of this article, which was eye level to all the children in the supermarket, because they're hijacking our consciousness, which is why we have to say no to the fear. I know it's hard because the campaign of fear and ugliness and inversion is never ending. But I'll never forget, this still haunts me today. There was a magazine, of course, eye level to all the children, and there was a little girl sitting at a desk with her hand raised with a mask on, and it said, "The future of education." And I'm sorry, I'm not going to worry about the mandates, but I really do believe that there's an element of society that wants the face covering on every time you're in public, everywhere. And if they could have their way, that's what they would want. It has
Wait,
nothing to do
you
with
was it you that sent me like a video on this, where it's like the people with anxiety disorders loved this? And oh yeah, there I saw a really good video on the basically the element of society, like just the normies out there that like it. And it's like all these people with like anxiety disorders, self-esteem issues, and going through the actual mental health type of people that would kind of gravitate towards something like that. And then they were going through the what percentage of the population is on certain medications, and then it would show, because of that, it shows how many, a little bit how much of the population would be on board with making this permanent because of mental health issues.
Right. Um, Again, it's just for me. It really the best way for me to describe it is like a abusive stepfather hanging the whip up over the fireplace in the center of the home. It was I'm not I can't live in fear, and I have to focus on the beautiful things in life. But just the fact that it happened is pretty horrific for me. I've said it before, but now that it's a precedent that children can be forced, suffocated, humiliated, and tortured for hours a day. I don't think it's a world worth bringing children into, and I'm sorry. And I'm going to have to answer to God for saying that. But that's how bad it was for me. Anyone can go back to our past streams. Before I got out of bed during this, it wasn't because of this, the jijib or whatever. It was because of this and the children. Before I would get out of bed most days, and my kids were home, I wasn't doing it. I would have tears running down my face. I would cry to Joe. I would say they don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand what they've said yes to. And the fact that they said yes and didn't pull their kids out means that whip over the fireplace is there forever. If you just said no and got uncomfortable for 1 month of your life, we wouldn't be here right now. But now it's a precedent, and we all have to, like, now the rumors can start whenever you want. So thank you,
But I think that this is something that's kind of going on. You know, it's not very public, and it's funny that we're starting to see these things come back again. And, today we wake up and former President Trump, his mugshot is all over the TV. It's like, wait, what?
Oh my God.
What is going, where are we? Has anybody figured this out yet? Exactly where we are?
If someone finds out, I mean, everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got an opinion out there, and a lot of people claim to just know it. I mean, first we have the Maui massacre, and then I wake up to Trump's ugly mug. I mean, I can't even look at that character without feeling stupider. Like, it's so...
He may as well have had his fists up.
Yeah.
Mugshot. It was so...
Oh, God. It's so... But it's what we deserve. That when I cried about... By putting masks on your children, your healthy children, this is what we get. You have to stop obeying. You're going to have to fight at some point. I'm talking to everybody. At some point in your life, you're going to have to do something that isn't popular. That everyone... You're going to have to take the narrow path. I have to go get my fan. I'm getting myself worked up.
Oh, she's getting all worked up. No, you're right. I'll say hi to the chat real quick, because you know what aggravates me? That on replay, it looks like we have no chat. So I'm going to say an early hello. Okay, so Boston Ray. Oh, we have Frank. Hi, Frank and Ray. Three Fingers, long time no see. Joe. And then we have Kitten Sons. Oh, and John Boy. See John Boy here. Hold on, let's see what this says. So my son lost scholarship opportunities because he could do his senior sport. Oh, he couldn't do it.
That's absolutely
excelled in. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Kitten Sons. And I also go back to, if anyone didn't listen to it, Hell on Wheels did an amazing talk on living in a world with no accountability. Your son being deprived of that is a crime, okay? And my father being murdered by protocols is a crime, but nothing's going to happen.
Right. Keep going. I'm just putting them up. Go.
No, that's it. I just can't. I can't with this. I can't. I literally can't. I know my husband doesn't want me to go. I can't live in a world like this that's going to play sick all the time and this isn't human. This isn't human. I'm not doing it. So I'm not, I probably will lose the will to live. And I'm not joking.
Oh,
I've seen
I won't lose the will to live. I'm just I don't again, I always try to anticipate what's coming. Like what's next. And of course nobody knows what's next, but I was saying to my mom today, she stopped by to drop off my niece, and I was saying to her, I was like, let's get out of here. Can we please get out of this state? And she's like, where do you think you're going? Like, she's right. There's nowhere to hide. And we've been saying that for years also. Like, where can you go to get away from all of this? Like over by her not her college, her cottage down the Cape, they just built all these new, like, huge apartment complexes, and that's where they brought all the immigrants. I'm just going to be politically correct. All the immigrants that they shipped up to Martha's Vineyard, and then all the liberals, basically, not even basically, they voted them off the island. So they all were sent back to Cape Cod. Now they need housing. So they're putting up housing everywhere, and they're just flooding the country with there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything. This isn't like a humanitarian effort. I'm sorry, I'm getting way off topic. Go ahead.
No, finish your point. It's all connected.
It
Everything is connected to everything. And if you haven't got that yet, person listening that's annoyed with me, everything's keep going. I want to hear more. So they're putting up Rock'em Stack'ems in scenic Cape Cod. Go on, let's hear it.
Yeah, and it also, I mean, it could even tie into that video that you sent me this morning. But with they're bringing all these people in, right, into the country that are getting everything for free, and we're getting screwed. The taxpayer, and I think Maui, even though I'm starting to have more questions about what happened over at Maui than I did originally. At first I was like, oh yeah, it's Mountain Dew, but now I'm like, wait, did this see what really even happens there? Because it makes no sense. It's like, oh, they blockaded the roads. It's like, then run the blockade. You're about to burn to death. But I'm getting off topic. Those people are getting $700 per family, but then billions are being sent overseas. It's like, don't you think that's public knowledge to make us mad, to make us realize we're not a priority?
No, it's psychological abuse. We're being
just like with all these people
abused.
Coming here, they're getting housing, they're getting health care, they're getting food, everything, and we're not a priority. And it's like, yeah, I guess we do get what we deserve, but I'm not sure. I'm hoping the American public are going to get their heads out of their butt if they try to pull this crap again.
Well, I'm going to follow my husband's orders, basically, that I'm not allowed to be fearful of this. And I said to him, I'm like, well, you do have to understand, Joe, that it did happen, and it came knocking at our door, as you say, and I'll never, I'm again with the analogy, the whip is hanging right over that fireplace and it can be taken down at any time, but I'll do what you say, husband, and I know you don't want me to be fearful, and I'll try my best, and I'll live every day. I'm not going along with any of it. I still don't talk to parents that let their kids play sports. I think once in a while I'll think of them. And they were very good friends, and I remember the advice Ceiling Fan Man gave me, and he's right. And it's not that I don't love them; I don't have any hatred in my heart for them, but we're not the same type of person. It's one thing if you have no other choice but to send your child to school, which is most people see as necessary. School is one thing, but to let your child do cardio, well, no professional athletes ever did in a mask. I'm sorry. I don't hate you, but you and I, we're officially going our separate ways for life.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because let me finish one more thing. Yeah. Because the people that allowed their children to do that in sports ruined kid and son's year. They took 2 years of my son's passion away. For those of us that have a line and an ounce of sanity, that no child should be doing athletics with their breathing holes covered, while no professional athlete did. I don't want to go down this road
I
again.
think we've all I don't know. Like this is the other thing. The average retired person in the US after working a lifetime. Hold on. Wait. I want to see what Frank said there too, but working a lifetime and paying into the system gets $1,500 a month. Yeah, but this is the thing. So that person that has paid into the system, who's dependent on a pension or whatever it is, they're in the system. So they're also less likely to stand up against this, whether they have children or not. We heard the excuses. Oh, I have a mortgage. Oh, I have this. How am I going to turn the lights on if I don't go along? We're in the system, far too many of us. And if they pull this crap again, I think 2020 is going to look like a snack, a light snack in comparison to if they do it again. But as I said, I've also had really bad anxiety and I'm in a very negative mindset. So that could be also feeding this.
Yeah, to be honest, the only place I've heard anyone mention it is in the truther community. When I'm out and about, and I see a lot of normies every day. I'm not seeing it. I'm not hearing it. They're going about their normal lives. And again, I'm going to obey my husband for the sake of this home's balance. And I can't be afraid of it. I really don't have any reason to be afraid of it. I did what I had to do. I'll do it again.
I'm not afraid of it. I want to get, I say it all the time, I want to get away from these people. I don't trust these people. They do not jive with my spirit, as they say. I just, and it's getting to the point that it's like beyond suffocating. It's beyond suffocating. And hearing the rumblings of, oh, it's gonna, it could happen again. They seem to be setting the stage once again. You talked about that, the woman in the back of that interview with the Snow White, who wasn't told to get the heck out of the shot, the woman wearing a mask. It's like, excuse me, get out of the shot. She was like, almost, you could tell she was there for a reason. And I noticed also, even following true crime, I'm seeing them more and more in courts and everything else. It's like, oh my gosh, like big famous cases going on there. It's getting people prepared for it. So as much I'm not afraid. I think I'm preemptively angry instead of just chilling out. But I don't want to take the wait and see attitude. I want to get out of here now. But that's enough of that rant. What were we supposed to talk about? Oh, the fear campaign. Yeah.
Or they could just be banking on the fact that the NPCs are so stupid and such sheeple that if they see them a lot and they're presented a lot in celebrities and on TV, they're just going to be fashionable. I mean, that's what I'm hoping, is they just want to make it fashionable. But there is an element, a very sick, twisted element that if they had their way, it would be in public all the time for the rest of rest of eternity. And it's inhuman and it's cruel. And I work with dogs, and I learned in one of my courses on training dogs about the head harness. And the language they use is that the dog needs to get used to it. It's new. The dog is feeling it on its face. Put it on for small periods of time because the dog is going to be reset. I said, well, that's what they're doing to us. It's a behavior exercise. Okay?
Facts.
So that's it. And I just want to say one thing. I'm not going to go down. Where the hell is the church? Shame on you. That's it. I want to say about the church. Going right along with it. When all you had to do was give up your 501c3 status, pay your taxes like the rest of us do, and stick up for your flock. Oh, that's all.
See,
Okay, drop
it's
it.
not. I don't think it's a 501c3 thing because we saw it in other countries also. We in other not every kind 501c3 is a United States thing. In a lot of countries, the churches are taxed, and they're just
All those churches in all those countries have the same thing. It's just a different name. You don't use the church in Canada is run by the Canadian government.
right.
It's like going
So
to the
France
DMV.
too.
I don't want to get into it. I don't want to. I'm sorry. I don't want to insult anyone, but I honestly, I blame the church as numero uno.
I blame the family as numero uno. I'm responsible for my family. The freaking church isn't here like feeding my family or taking care of anybody. You know,
bet your ass they're not, but they'll take your money and not pay any taxes. They'll gladly take your donation, and they won't pay any taxes, and they won't speak any truth. They're disgusting. I'm sorry, every last one of you that went along with this. There's a few that didn't close, but even the ones that didn't close didn't do enough. You got to be out there. You got to be out there, like
a lot of. There was a resistance. It was underground. It was suppressed, and it wasn't on the nightly news. You know.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get mad because that's what I fall into. Fear isn't my biggest vice; it's wrath, and I start getting angry, and I don't want to get angry. I want to live. I think it's the apocalypse. You want me to change the subject? Let's change. Can I tell? What about the video I sent you the other night of all the crows over my house? What did you think of that?
That was eerie. Yeah. You know what a group of crows is called?
A murder.
A murder of crows. That was eerie.
That was So I'm not going to show it on Cloud World Cousins because like my neighbors are in it, their cars, their licenses, the numbers of their houses. It would be easy to dox me and my neighbors. Mary saw it. Joe's my witness. This happened, was it last night? It was last night. And I sent Mary the video. And all of a sudden I heard this, like just crows. Rah, rah, rah. There was hundreds of black crows. I go outside of my house. All my neighbors are outside. Okay? That's how loud it was. All of a sudden, a crow falls from the sky. Okay? So, it's the apocalypse. That's all I can say. Between the Mandela effect and the weird behavior of animals that literally went on over my house last night. I looked at my neighbor and I go, that's it. I'm repenting. And he was like, haha. I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. And I went back to the house.
It is scary. I mean, animals have been acting. I mean, again, it's on the internet. I assume because, you had your own personal experience. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear more of like people's personal experience instead of like, the orca whale attacking people in kayaks or, we've had a lot of bear attacks in residential areas. Coyotes are acting nuts, whales, sharks. But all of this is online. You know what I mean? So anything that you see that kind of like corroborates that is helpful, right? Because now this
Joe's my witness, and I showed you I sent you the video that I took. Right. I can play the audio for you guys if you want to hear the audio, but I can't like show my neighbors' houses and license plates. But I will I'll play the audio for you. La 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 la. Sorry, I get worked up about the face diaper thing. I always will for the rest of my life. I'll never get over it. Ever. Even if it doesn't come back. Here we go. Wait. You hear it?
All my neighbors are out. Oh my god!
One fell out of the sky.
It says the hawk. Oh my god, there's a dead crow on my street and the crows are going crazy.
That's it. I mean, you get the gist. I hope people can understand. I mean, all you see when you look up is that the reason I go, oh, a hawk? because someone thought that maybe they were like scared of a hawk or something.
Oh, they're
But
not scared of a hawk. They'll take on the hawk.
yeah,
Have you ever seen them like dive bombing the hawks? That's amazing.
yeah.
No, that
It was
doesn't.
very eerie, like you say. It was the first
Yeah,
thing I sort of thought of when I woke up this morning. Like, what the heck did I witness last night? But go ahead.
right. But like, so again, when I say like all this stuff that it's like, oh, I saw online, this, that, or the other thing. It's like, once again, the presentation of the fear. And it's like served up on a silver platter for us constantly. I mean, and it's like we do, even though we try not to, it does kind of seep in, right? We all have like little cracks in our truth or armor where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't do this again, or I need to get the fight or flight kicks in. Any number of things will happen, and it's just I don't know. So you wanted to call this overcoming that. So
We have to, and I don't really know how. I mean, any suggestions people have, because we have to. I truly believe that the tears, the creatures that we're up against, and it's not human. I don't know what it is. God knows what it is. I came into this. I'm a spiritual person. I'm a spirited person. I have an inner dialogue. I do believe that there are NPCs. I am a sinner, but I'm not wicked. I'm not. Um, oh, what was I going to say? What was the question? Oh, so overcoming it.
Mhm.
Um, I was brought into this world deaf, dumb, and blind, no memory, how I got here, why I'm here, what's going on here. A defenseless child raised by adults that were deaf, dumb, and blind that don't know shit either, that pretended that they did. It's a mess, and it's a very unfair fight. And like you say, Mary, and I'm weak. I'm very weak. I apologize to God for being such a foolish woman daily. But I still, they're these creatures. They want us fearful. They want us depressed. They want us angry. They want us. They're feeding or whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, but they're getting something out of keeping us in this emotional state. So that's why we have to do our best to overcome it, and it's a daily walk, I guess. What are your thoughts?
I feel like anger is, there's something that happens in my home, and with a large family, I think that anybody, if they analyze it, would see it in like even a smaller group. When one person starts yelling, one person starts getting upset, it's like a ripple effect in the home. Or if you want to look at it spiritually, it's like a demonic feeding frenzy where all of a sudden one person is upset, and it's like just what the tinderbox needs to basically ignite, and then the entire house has erupted, you know? And if that's just something that I've observed in my own home, as far as like a spiritual thing, that it's like, why does this happen every single time? That's why you're supposed to keep peace in your home and not be the one that causes the feeding frenzy of the demonic. But could you imagine what that does in a neighborhood, in a town, in a state, in a country? And just, I mean, that type, there's so much power in that, and it's like almost like a conjuring of it's a ripple effect. So it's like it spreads so quickly. So it's like of course, they want people angry. Look at what they did once again with that stupid mug shot. Think of the ripple effect of that kind of anger. Anger, rage. People are enraged over it.
So I don't know. I was
demonic
thankful
power.
that I was just angry that I had to look at his face in the morning. I hate his face. and then I remember there's people that still like him, and they are an embarrassment to the human race. Um, but then my son came down and he was cracking up about it. So then I realized that yeah, I guess it is funny and you have to laugh at it. But
Wait, what was the mugshot?
oh my god,
Wait,
yeah.
yeah, but we're not in the system like that. But we know that there is a huge portion of the population that is in the system like that. Oh, another thing, really quick. That stupid idiot. I shouldn't say that. That guy. What's his name? Oliver. Remember the yodeler who put out that country music new anthem?
The redhead guitar guy.
The Richmond, north of Richmond. Well, guess what? He was propped up by the conservatives. And then he comes out, don't you know, and supported Joe Biden. And now the conservatives have turned on him. It's another thing that everybody's talking about. It's like, who cares? Like, who cares?
Yeah. It's to the point, and it's not, again, I don't hate these people. I can't be friends with people that allowed their children to play sports in a mask, because to me that's too evil and it's a line that you cross that I'm sorry, we're done for life. It's getting to the point that I'm sorry that if you vote, like, I'll see you when I see you. I don't have anything for you. Because it's just really embarrassing at this point. That's how I feel.
So,
and I know a lot of people that vote, so it's going to be a very lonely walk if I keep writing everyone off.
No one well, it is meant. I do think that it's a lonely walk, even if you're surrounded by people.
100%.
You know. So, also, you had some television, some observations, trying to relax, trying to have some escapism in your life. You saw some things that you...
Well, I just, I can't, I don't know if there will ever be a show that I get to finish in this new world. I don't know. Well, just like, so we'll talk about shows. There's 3. Last week I was talking about Below Deck. I said it was the best show. I think I'm done with them because the presentation this season is off the rails. Just like, okay, so what was the episode? Like, first of all, it's supposed to be a show about super yachts. Let's talk about ugliness for a little bit. Keeping in mind that beauty is always in the eye of the beholder. But yes, post-COVID, you're going to get less. Okay? You're going to get less in the post-COVID world. So it's a show about super yachts. And there's this yacht, again, back in Australia. And it looks like it's out of the 1970s. You know what I mean? It's like, I wouldn't say no if someone wanted to give me this boat, but it's not like the other ones. Like, all of a sudden, it's just not as nicely decorated. And then on one episode, one of the crew members had to be removed from the ship because he was going to assault this girl who was comatose drunk. So he went into a girl's room who was passed out drunk. So he had to be removed from the show. But in the same crew, there was a girl who was trying to assault another boy who was assaulting a boy who was drunk. Like, what's the odds that would happen? You know what I mean? And then they had guests that were like, X-rate porn star streamers, and they were disgusting. And then they had a family. Oh, isn't it nice to have this family come stay on this 70s decorated yacht after these X-rated porn star streamers in the same bedroom with and it's a lesbian couple, of course, and they just talk about the wonderful family. So Below Deck, you're just seeming really scripted. That's that one. And then so I'm done with that. And then I was talking about Good Omens, the show about the angel and the demon. I watched another episode. I don't think I can watch it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, I read the books back in the day, back when I was way blue-pilled. I don't really remember, but I remember I liked them, and they made me laugh out loud, and I liked the books a lot. But I don't remember all the same-sex couples in it. And in the show, the angel is trying to hook up a lesbian couple In the show, they're playing two lesbians, but one of them is clearly a man dressed up as a woman. Just the inversion. And then there's like they're walking by a character. They're gonna have a party on the show, and then they invite this guy. And he goes, "Oh, great! It's our anniversary." And I said to Joe, joking around, I go, "Watch, the partner will be a tranny." And at the party, it's a guy in a dress like this one that I'm wearing with a strand of pearls, but it's clearly just a man, like not even trying to look like a woman. And this is like a party thrown by an angel. And the last but and okay, I don't care if it comes off as superficial because Mary said I don't have to care. There's no one good looking on these shows anymore. And I like you said, I want to escape. I used to go to TV to be like, oh, look at, they're so beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? Look at them, how dressed they are. They're picking under average to ugly people to play on TV, I feel like. I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I'm sorry, that's not what I tune in for. The whole party, there wasn't one good looking person. That's the whole party. And then last but not least is a show called Sweet Magnolias. And this is a little show on Netflix. It's kind of like a wholesome show. They talk about the Bible, they're going to church, you know what I mean? It's about three friends. I watched it with my daughter. The first season, it was okay. The second season was unbearable. And I'm going to quote my daughter. She goes, I can't watch this. She goes, all the boys in the show act more like more girls than girls. And my 15-year-old daughter was repulsed, and she was right. So those are the three shows it's just it's a pattern.
Yes.
The ugliness.
I'm done with it. So I put on a Lifetime original movie for me and my daughter. I forget what the heck it was called. Oh, it was called Terror in the Family. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it had what the hell is that? Not Emily Blunt. I told
Hillary
you
Swank. You already told me you're gonna bring it.
Swank in it.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there just working on stuff in my room. My daughter's lying on my bed. And she's like, oh, but why? That's a dude. She was getting so mad. And I was like, whatever, stop. You know, even on The Office, they made fun of her. They were like, hot or not. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Of The Office. But so anyway, I kept telling my daughter to be quiet because I was really invested in the Lifetime original movie. But my daughter also, she was like, I can't look at her or him. She literally could not do it anymore.
Good.
So that was one thing. We just finished the last episode of season 1 of Arcane, which is so good. I don't get into cartoons. I don't like anime. Arcane was different. It turns out season 1 took 6 years to make. Okay. It's just, it was so entertaining. So many great characters, but the story is about 2 sisters, and the oldest sister basically kind of betrays the younger sister. And so then the younger sister gets taken by the enemy guy. All right. The older sister goes to prison, comes out of prison, and she's with this other female soldier. And the whole series, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, she's trying to replace the younger sister with this other female, you know. Well, anyway, in the last episode, it turns out, no, that's actually her girlfriend. Right? Is this what we decided, Birdie? Birdie just walked in. Yeah. In Arcane.
They're so cute together. Oh.
Birdie said, oh, they're so cute together. Oh. But it's like, I don't know. I am getting kind of, I would rather just keep relationships out of it then. If it's going to start getting into this, like, stupid bull crap. Right?
No, they'll never do that. There was one, I respect your, Hillary Swank is definitely a piece of work. And the funny, we talked about this on the stream once too, because she was in that movie Boys Don't Cry, and she was playing a girl pretending to be a boy, and what a troll on everyone because she's really a boy being a girl.
Yes, Birdie just said if she saw her on the street, she would think it was a good-looking dude with long hair.
Yeah. Oh, she's an obvious one. I agree. Then Joe and I were trying to watch some movie, and the movie was like kind of looking pretty good. But then Joe had to go outside for a second, smoke a cigarette or with the dogs or something. And so you know how like when you pause on like Prime or whatever, there won't be a commercial, but it'll be like just a picture, like an advertisement.
Oh, it goes
And then,
into like sleep mode. Yes, and
Yeah,
then it'll start flashing different like.
so I'm sitting in the living room by myself, and he paused the movie, and a picture came up, and I think it was of Degree deodorant, and in the background's like a guy on a skateboard, and I had no problem with the guy on the skateboard, but the woman in the front for the Degree woman, okay, call her a woman, she was standing like this, and like you can't tell what race she is. Her face, its face looks like a bridge troll, like something that comes out from under a bridge. The arms are as thick as like thighs, like, and she's just like, she was so just like, I don't think it was a girl. My son, I was like, is that a boy or a girl? Like, it's like you can never tell what race they are. Is it a boy or is it a girl? She's in a woman's workout outfit because she's wearing the sports bra and the tight pants. I had to shut the TV off. We didn't go back to the movie because Joe was taking too long and I couldn't look at this creature anymore. So I don't know. Am I superficial? I don't know. You know what I mean? But they're presenting extremely unappealing characters.
They're trying to again making certain things normalizing certain things. Okay, so Fat April in the new in the new Turtles movie made my kids mad. Okay, it's not.
I laughed when she went up the stairs.
It's it is tough. And again, I mean, it's tough. I don't know how to like present this, but I feel like when we're going onto the television, we're looking for a certain level of escapism, right? And to escape reality, I want to see like beauty. I want to see attractive people. I want the hot dude and the really pretty girl to ride off into the sunset. Okay.
Is that asking too much?
It is. It is now.
Yeah.
It is now. And I always liked, she's coming closer. You have to come over.
I do. Yeah, I'm not
She's
coming.
getting triggered. I'm telling you, it's like triggering. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that it's not so much a problem of them being on TV for me. It's more just when they pretend that they're attractive, and like they like, I don't care if they're actually like a little bit heavier. Like, honestly, don't be mean, guys. But I'm saying, like, if they're saying that they're acting like they're attractive and they're not, it's like really awkward and it's kind of embarrassing for them.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
What you're saying is, it's like, why is what's supposed to be the hot love interest like completely unattractive? And it's not like the fact that she, like, remember back in the day, it's like Michael Scott put it best. It's like she takes off her glasses and it turns out she was hot the whole time, but she was just wearing glasses. It's not even that anymore. It's like, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, before I go, you mentioned April. I literally laughed when she went up the stairs. Like, it's so bad.
Oh, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
It's so bad.
And that's drawn. It's like, look at Fortnite, over-sexualized. The glutes are like two beautiful buns, right? That we know that they can draw attractive people. Why are we paying money to go to a theater to watch them draw absolute, like...
Everybody in that movie looked like they were drawing.
Well, that's something that
Yeah. Sorry, I know you can't hear her. Go ahead.
Matt from Quantum pointed that out too when he did a few when I haven't been on ChatGPT. That's one thing I'll never do. I'll never talk to ChatGPT either. But he was doing some streams about it, and he was just like, it's funny because he was talking about the unattractiveness being presented by Hollywood and the unappealing and just the like what are you doing? But he's like, it's funny. ChatGPT seems to know what beauty is. If you like put in beautiful woman, you know what I mean? Like, it comes out as like what the typical standard would be. Like, you can put your preferences, like redheaded, beautiful woman, and it's like the old days. She's thin, she's got a figure, you know what I mean? Long flowing hair, You know,
Mhm.
ChatGPT seems to know what is appealing. And again, AI is going to save us. AI and virtual reality from ourselves because everything we do sucks, humans, I
Well,
guess.
you know what? I feel like it kind of did start with architecture.
Oh, yeah.
Once they started making architecture just like, oh, it's modern, it's like, no, it's just ugly. I feel like it was
Mhm.
really downhill after what was that? The 1920s. What's that? Like the Empire State Built Art Deco. Once Art Deco like was like the last my niece is an architect major, so she would probably tell me I'm wrong. She may know, she doesn't listen to us, but I'm just saying she would know more. But it seems like after the whole Art Deco style was the last great attempt at beauty on a grand scale, and then everything became modern, like contemporary, and then with that came fashion went down the crapper. Women start like, think of what a woman would do to be beautiful, in the turn of last century, all right, with their beautiful whalebone corsets, yards of fabric. They would literally put arsenic, was it arsenic, on their skin to give them a nicer glow and all this kind of stuff. And now we're just like, what was it? Radium. All right,
Sorry, I was
whatever.
trying to remember.
Anyway, now we're just like going out in pajama pants and Uggs.
Yeah,
That's what we become. Pajama
but at
pants
the
and
same
Uggs.
time, there are people are injecting um, botulism in their face and putting plastic in their breasts, and
Yes.
there's the other
There
extreme, like
is the other extreme in younger and younger women doing this. It's like, why can't youth just be beautiful?
we've talked about
Why do we
before.
have to look like trans people who are trying to look like women, because that's what the new aesthetic is. So I don't
Because
know. What?
we live in a
Yeah, Bertie just did Dolly Parton's famous quote. It takes a lot of money to look this cheap. It's like,
yeah.
literally, Dolly Parton knew she looked cheap, but now it's just the norm. So yeah, it is a shame when you're trying to just relax in your home, watch a series that you just
Yeah,
can't.
I just can't get through this stuff. But it's everywhere. And I talked to you earlier today. I don't want to get into it. I was like having a panic attack. I was with my daughter. Um, just the inversion and the ugliness everywhere I look. It's a lot to take. I did see, a few streams back again. Not to get back on this, but you showed a picture I took at a Salem um train stop. Remember? And it was of
Yes,
a woman holding a child, like with the mask, like basically right up over the child's eyes. And the only word that we could discern in the sign said good, good. Okay, so children drive by and see this, it says good. So they're like just the inversion of what is good and what is moral and what is right. Today I was in a bathroom and right over it was a single bathroom unisex business, like it's unisex, just me, not like a big thing about it, but it was the only one where I was, you know what I mean.
I'm just shutting off my camera. I'm still going to be right here. Go ahead.
It was in a business that just had a little bathroom, and someone had taped up over the toilet a sign. I didn't take a picture, I didn't have my camera, it was a very 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 rainy day here today, right? But I was sure to remember it was pronouns matter, and it was cartoons and it had all these pronouns and little cartoon peoples. And then at the bottom it said, if you don't know, ask. It's the right thing to do.
It's so upsetting. I know that my son, I know the company he's in at the school he's at, and they did point out that their group misgendered one of the officers. Um, so I guess that's a huge deal, misgendering somebody.
No, I think there's something.
They're forcing us to take part in their mental illness.
Yeah, but also the thing that's upsetting is that there's a dude out there pretending to be a woman, and then the children, or the child, I can't keep calling my son a child. the young person, the young man, and the young women saw this obvious male, but then they're in trouble for misgendering. At least, would it surprise? I don't know the whole story. I'll find out the whole story on Wednesday, but I did see in the recap that they misgendered. So we'll see. We'll see what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just overtired. It was an obvious woman, and they said like, "Sir, yes, sir," and they were just tired. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not interested in I don't, I'm just, this isn't the world I signed up for, you know. I'm not where I'm not going to learn. I'm not doing, my age makes me exempt from this pronoun thing. I've got a lot on my plate. I've got 2 children to raise. I work a lot. I have a husband that I want to take care of and enjoy as much time with him as I can because, you know, we're not young anymore. Caring about your stupid pronouns isn't on my radar. Too bad. Okay? I don't care.
Yeah, my husband and I didn't discuss this thing that we both obviously read. He has a different interpretation. I know the day before was diversity training for my son's group. So, you know what? I think that you have to not just be like, "Oh no, they just happened to call a ma'am a sir." I mean, unless they're just overtired. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I feel like diversity training being the day before and then this happening, it sounds like a setup. We'll see. I could be wrong. So yeah, I'm over it. I'm over everything. I wish, you know what the thing is? It's like trying not to like overburden people with like my problems. This is how we grew up. We were just like, you know, our husbands obviously have to deal with a lot of our crap. But they signed up for it. But it's not like we're going out into the world and stopping people and being like, guys, listen to my freaking problems. And because we don't expect anybody to care about us besides the people that are supposed to care about us. And
Right.
that's what these young people, I feel like they're going out into the world and they feel like everybody is supposed to care about you. It's like, guess what? Most people don't give a rat's ass, and most people have their own problems. So,
I don't. I'm thankful that right now I'm not in a period of my life where I have a lot of problems, but I've got a life, and I don't have time for you. I don't care what you want to be called. I don't care what you feel like is in your body. I don't care. Like I'm not going to be mean to you. You
of
know.
course not. I would never go out of my way to be disrespectful to anybody. Anybody, not even to make a statement, you know? But at the same time, truth is truth. And we're not supposed to shy away from the truth ever. And I'm not going to lie to your face in order to, like, what? Speak your truth?
It's really, I mean, let's be honest, let's be real. They're forcing us to sin. Okay? I'm not going to take part in your mental illness, which is what you just said. I'm not going to lie. Okay?
It's the sin of omission.
I'm not going to bear false witness.
It's not just that. There used to be something called the sin of omission. When somebody was doing something wrong and you knew that what they were doing was wrong and you either encouraged it or didn't say anything, even not correcting something that is considered evil, like spiritually evil, that in itself was its own like offense. But hold on, I like this. Dude, what are your pronouns? Mine are dude and bra and dude. So Mike has his pronouns all.
I like it.
Well,
I already told you when my kids go back to school next week that if it's brought up, then you just need to say this doesn't apply to me.
It shows our blood, bra, and hey, dude, bro.
Yeah. More of that nervous laughter is the sound of the toilet.
I actually think
you have to laugh, but like, I feel bad for her kids. It's crazy.
Anyway, I want everybody to care about my worldview. So I'm going to go out there tomorrow and start just harassing people and yelling at them. And I guess that's how you get things done nowadays, right? Go out,
Yeah.
you harass and you yell, and then you obviously have to litigate everything.
So
Like,
one thing that you go ahead, finish what you're saying.
oh, I'm going to sue you if you use the wrong label.
Sue me.
I mean,
Sue me. What do I have? Last week you were saying, Faye, I bet you do wake people up as you're out and about. And I was like, Mary, I really don't say anything these days. But there is one thing that I do, and we've talked about this before, is my deafening silence when they're going on and on and on about whether the pandemic and did you get tested and this and that. And I just sit there like not playing. But I don't say anything. And like they'll look at me like, well, when are you going to chime in with like your test and how you feel? You're not playing with us.
right.
Like one time I was driving the bus and she's like, oh yeah, my daughter, she goes by they, them. And I just, all right, so who are we dropping off next? I didn't give it any attention either way. And I think that drives them a little bit crazy too. They'd love to fight with you. Fighting is more fun than, hey, wait, didn't you hear me? My daughter goes by they, them. You're just going to skip that? Like,
who asked? Who asked? Hi. So anyway, my son, guys, he's away at college. He goes by he, him. And my other daughter was just in my room. She goes by she, her. Like nobody cares. What does that have to do with the point of your story? Could you imagine if all of us did that? And that's what they want. They want this like whole, like, this is how I identify, because it's obviously like filling some sort of a hole in people that they're like, now I feel, but they never feel whole. They think it's going to make them whole, but it's not.
Mental illness, spiritual sickness. It's narcissism, and I'm not playing. I don't care. I mean, if they might call me in, it's my work where I saw the sign, okay? And I don't want to, I love my job. And they might call us in, what?
Yeah, it's your work. I was like,
should but I love my job. I mean, I don't know. Even if they call me in for a meeting, I'm just going to sit there dead silenced. I don't have anything to say and no comment.
All right, let's go back to the chat before our stream gets taken down for mispronouncing people.
I know, like, seriously.
All right, so Frank was here earlier. He says the place that the original four fire, isn't it funny that 30 to 45 mile per hour winds knocked down all these power lines? So fires started were places where the U.S. was making do. I did see that. I think I saw sorry, I'm like trying to talk fast. I saw a really good quote today, and it was from the fires in Greece. And I guess like 70 people have been arrested in Greece because of the fires. And it was said, we don't have an environmental problem. We have a arson problem. So as much as I would like to be like, yes, the Mountain Dew was here. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me to see Oprah out there with her flint and steel, like lighting a bushel of grass on fire and like 3 other people. Like, really, it doesn't have to be this.
I didn't watch much about it, but I just know that I don't trust these people.
20 to 30 crows all squawking out.
No, there was more than 20 to 30 crows. It was at least 50. One fell out of the sky.
That's so weird. Like, what the hell? They screwed with the environment so much. And I really think that, I mean, when the hell have we ever seen a hurricane hitting the West Coast? And then it turns out, like, no, I was right. That's not normal. But they had a, I guess because of Hurricane Dora, they had to stir up another one to be like, it's normal, guys. Hurricane Dora, by the way, is the hurricane that, supposedly was fanning the flames over in Maui. So Joe, this is Joe's solution for the overcoming the constant presentation of fear and ugliness. Don't believe the hype. Probably. I think it's
try to focus on the heaven. You gotta try to stay calm and like captive every thought. Oh.
The world stage political
theater.
It
is a soap opera. That's why the John Boy says that, because of course I need to drink my tea and watch something. So I started this new show. So far so good, but I kind of know what I'm signing up for because it's based on ancient Rome and it's called Domina and on Prime, and I love ancient Rome, and at this point I don't believe any of the narrative, but it's like watching My Little Pony or the Smurfs or something. Yes, it's a fantasy, but it's like a good soap opera, and there's a part of me that wants to walk through my marble palace in a silk nightgown and drink wine all day. I just think it sounds great. Why not? Right? Mm-hmm. I loved their fashion. I love them. I just love the look. But so yeah, soap opera. I love the Roman history, of like all the Caesars and it's great.
At the same time, I will say that they've even taken the official narrative on YouTube Shorts. I've seen a lot of these where it's like ancient Roman so and so, and it's basically like the conclusion is always like they were debaucherous. They were like either trans, polyamorous, homosexual, or there's it's like I don't know if that's the official story.
That stuff. I'm pretty selective with my ancient history stuff, and if you have too many followers,
in cartoons too.
Ugly got normalized in cartoons. Thank you.
I remember Rugrats. I was older when Rugrats came out, and I remember seeing it and being like, this is, because I was babysitting at that point. So I had to be like, 14 around that time? Or maybe like it was an older cartoon. I don't know. But I feel like the kids were watching it and the little baby always drooling and he had no teeth. And I just thought it was so disturbing that I shut it off. And I talked to the mom about it, and I was like, is Rugrats okay for them to watch? And the mother was like, oh, yeah, they love that show. I put on Thomas going forward. I was like, you're not watching this.
I felt the same way. I felt the same way about Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, yeah.
They were gross. Yeah, Homeless, you're right. Ugly did get normalized. And thank you for saying that, because I'm like, to me, I'm like, I don't want people to think we're superficial, but it really isn't just us. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I do know good, beautiful, and true when I see it. And it's an absolute inversion.
Yeah. So, anyway, I mean, you know what, Faye? Faye and I were talking before the stream, and we're both like, I don't know if we can do this tonight. But we pulled it off. We've been going an hour. So good for us. And we overcame our own personal feelings, even though it does sound like we're talking about stuff that actually matters to us. These are all the background noise of our actual lives. All these things that we talk about here, and
and being able to come here, and if you hi Melanie, and people have their different like communities that they go to and they have conversations. For me, this is very therapeutic. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be able to face my day and go give my husband a kiss and pet the dog, and I do want, it was important for us to put overcome in this, because I think it's a daily walk and we have to do the best we can. What does my mom say?
She says, if they ever ask me at work for my pronouns, they are your and highness.
I love it. You deserve it, Mom. My mom has the patience of a saint with dealing with the public.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
so anyway, and then you have to try to get physical. These are my top 3. You gotta have. We're so lucky to have each other, Mary, and we are. And for cherish the friendships that you have with people that are we have to be out there and we have to deal and be polite and civil with the public. But to be able to have real conversations like this is a treasure. So I cherish anyone that's listening now and then. I'm more of a lurker. Sometimes I comment, but there's a lot of channels I really appreciate. CFM's on after us. I listen to them every week. You know, I have to catch up later. So it's the discussions and finding people that are like-minded, even if it's one person. The second is physical activity for me. Like, even if it's go for a walk every day, even if it is like do a couple sun salutations and stretch, put on your timer for 5 minutes and move. It does wonders for this. It's not just about being thin. And the other one is to get out in nature. Those three things are life-saving at this particular time for me. What do you think, Mary? And prayer, obviously, spiritual.
Yeah, I was gonna say read. Get off the freaking internet. Put everything away and see what actually comes to your doorstep, as they say. Because I do think, okay, so this really quick, just only because it was just brought up again, the Mountain Dew, right? So, because also you have to be careful, and I hope everybody knows that, like, you have to be careful or your stream will be taken down halfway through, because I saw on the Angry Prepper, he was talking about it and his stream ended, got shut down. So, but
proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Sorry. God, give me a break. Sorry,
but
go ahead.
with that, it's like, I don't know how everybody feels about how like mainstream that has become. I mean, I can turn on AM radio and hear them talk about that, which is concerning to me. It's something that like really made me be like, wait a minute. Maybe this isn't like, what was it, Paradise, California, where we had all this and nobody was on the radio, like the public radio, talking about these weapons. But now with what happened here, it's like you could see it from either way. You could be like, well, it's so obvious, or you could see it from the other angle. This is what the narrative that they're pushing almost. I don't know. I know nothing.
It goes along with that redhead country singer guy that like is number one on the charts. It's all anti-establishment and I make no money and it's all the DC's fault. And you know what I mean? They know the infamous it's them trying to hijack the truth movement, take control of it. They're tearing it down because they're going to build it back up. That's it with their heroes.
Yeah. Yes. Very much like Lahaina. They burnt it down and now they're going to rebuild it with help of like BlackRock, Chase, JP Morgan. You know, it is really disturbing. The whole thing is, everything is upsetting. It really is. And it's like,
that's the emotion.
Times have changed though, Faye, because think back to 2001 and that entire jarring event in New York. Just the shock, remember? Shock and awe. It's like, yo, that's exactly what it was. It was shock, it was awe. Then people started asking questions. It took a while for people to really get together and come to the conclusion that truthers have come to, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like everything is happening so quickly now. It's an event after event after event. We can hardly get our bearings to really like see what's like, is this real or is this an FF? And they're blaming this. So, I mean, everybody, I say it all the time, stay on your toes.
And then there's crows. Then there's literal crows falling out of the sky last night in my house. So I don't have all the answers. I'm trying to be in prayer. I try to repent every day. And I just try to stay on that narrow path. You know, it really is the narrow path. And, you know, when making choices, you got to do what you think our creator would want you to do, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to CFM. I'm probably not going to comment because what do I have to say? I feel like I'm questioning and questioning and questioning. I just want to hear what other people are saying. You know, like, what do you all think is up? And yeah, I have been going around to different like I saw like what's his name, the scariest movie ever channel put out like the demonic message from Maui. It's I couldn't even watch it. I'm just like, I'm not ready for that yet. I just want to know what the hell happened, how 4 fires started simultaneously. Was, you know, the wind from a hurricane 500 mile or 400 miles away is being blamed. People were barricaded or blocked in to the community. They didn't run the barricades. They fled to the ocean. Schools let out early. I have so many questions still. So I'll be interested to see what CFM comes up with, because
Yeah, I'll definitely start it on like the big TV with the dogs in my lap. I don't know much about it either, but like, yes,
I know a ton about it. I still can't figure it out. I literally can't figure it out because once again, once you hear it go mainstream, it's like, okay, I thought I had this figured out, but now I'm listening to the radio and they're talking about it. So there's something, maybe there's something else going here. We'll see. Land grab. Well, it's definitely a land grab, but I don't think they needed to directed weapons in order to do it. It supposedly was so dry that seriously you could start 4 fires. I'm exhausted. I mean, again, I listen to so much stuff.
I am
I end up
too.
spinning my wheels, going in circles.
Yeah, I had a great week, but I almost canceled with Mary just because the way it was getting to me today. But I'm glad we did it. I feel better. I'm excited for a good night's sleep tonight. I've been waking up pretty early.
So
yeah, she's right about that.
Not like I don't feel like it's the same way. I feel like geoengineering, that's like, now it's just science. Now this is, I don't.
Or
you're
as
probably right.
Psycho said, innovation. That's innovation.
Yeah, and also, you know that Hawaii, the reason why the monarchy was overthrown was because of freaking Dole pineapple. I mean, they already have such a shady history. And then the first people on board, sorry, Faye, I said I wasn't going to do this, run my mouth like this, but, and then we have Spam come out and be like, Hawaii, we see you, we're coming. It's like, nobody wants your crap meat, pretend to meat Spam. Talk about adding insult to injury, but I've seen too much on this, so I'm confused. And that's it.
Yeah, I think confusion is one of the points they want you to feel. They want us confused and angry and fearful and paranoid and blah 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 blah. So no matter what, it's hard, but I have to. We're gonna try to focus on. So we talked about before. You got the 7 deadly sins. You got to focus on the 7 virtues. And on that note, this weekend I'm going to relook at my 7 virtues again. Everything they want us to do, we have to do the opposite. I need to help more people because I am a very busy person, like with my job and my family. But like maybe I just have to find a way to. I don't know, maybe adopt like an older person in the neighborhood and bring them lunch once a week or something. And I know you're not supposed to like let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. If I do anything like that, I'm not going to tell you guys and be like, guess what I'm doing. I'm just thinking out loud as a way of overcoming all of this. That I think maybe like a little more charity, if we all just like kind of took a deep breath and looked around, I was like, is there anyone near me that needs help? I know that I could. I don't know. Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good advice, Faye. Because, I mean, yeah, sitting around doing nothing, worrying, adding nothing. It's like, get out there and add something. Make a difference to somebody. I probably won't do it, but if I ever, I don't know, if God puts somebody in my path.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're moms, and like our first priority is our husband and our children, and I love my job, and by the end of the day, I'm ready to crash, But yeah, just I never ask for people to comment, but seriously, like this is a psychological and spiritual war. They're coming at us daily. You can't get your head around what happened last week before there's 5 other stories. So if there's something that works for you and you want to share it, I will thank you in advance, because I'm always like, it's a daily thing, and I really, you know, cannabis and alcohol can only do so much. And I don't think that's the way God wants us to go all the time. So good stuff.
Yeah, and don't forget to like the video. I hate self-promotion. I am going to get our brand up, though, because that makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, fun fact about us before you do this, are you listening? Before you do it, it's funny because while Mary and I are doing it, I've done this a couple times. I was telling Ray about this, just talking about like streaming on YouTube and stuff. And you and I do this for fun and for therapy, you know, and it's great if we can meet a few people along the way and some like-minded people. But there's some people that are trying to build up a channel, and I get it. That's great. You know, and back in the day you could do that. I was telling Ray what I do, and sometimes I'll text Mary a screenshot of our little baby channel. We're 2 cousins basically doing what, like having our phone conversation on YouTube. That's all we're doing, okay? And like I'll text her and be like, "Oh, look, 20 likes." And then I'll go on the next day and it'll be like 12 or 15. So if you lube like that, like why? For us 2 moms?
I feel like we're lucky because that's like a warning shot across the bow. Whereas, you know that they could take down our entire street.
Yeah.
You know, and then we could be put in the corner for 2 weeks. I feel like we're skating on thin ice all the time.
We did delete one channel, but I just think it's amazing that it always takes between 7 and 8 likes. And I bet you now it won't, now that I said it out loud. Now it won't because I said it out loud. Who knows what we'll do? Maybe the channel will be gone. Sorry, Mary.
Exactly. I feel like because of the whole pronoun discussion.
I'm sorry. We love YouTube. Thank you. I mean, at the end of the day, we're doing this for free, and I get to not only speak to you on the phone, I get to look at your pretty face. So always a good time.
Same to you, Faye. I look horrible. I was telling Faye before we went live that now StreamYard had a filter option, which is like what did it say? Like make me look less severe or something. And I clicked on it one time, and it was like I all washed out. It's like, ooh, that's nice, you know? But
yeah,
it's so unauthentic. Here I am with my black eyes and crinkles. Exactly.
I considered coming on with my burqa on tonight as just a statement for this whole thing coming back, and because if it does come back, that's what I'm wearing. I wear my burqa, and no one gives you any trouble. Everyone buy one, seriously.
Yeah, but that's another religion that you're promoting, isn't it?
Another religion. You know what? There's some good things going on over in those Middle Eastern countries. Don't get me started. I don't know. I've never been to one. So now I'm just talking to talk. So I love you, cuz. Good times. See you next time. God bless everyone.
All right. God bless everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.